Alright, so this has been a very long break. So essentially, this is your writing update. I have been radio silent for about a few months now, and that's because I was working on a manuscript that I unfortunately can't talk about. And as soon as I sent it in, I got sick. So yeah. But this is probably going to be the only video part of myself on the actual video, because I'm probably going to just go to my computer and explain more there. But I can coherently pull a string of sentences together. See, look at that. Right here. Anyway, quick update. Going back to write some more content for you all. I've got a few ideas in the works. I've got a few Canva thumbnails I've mocked up. And maybe a few things I could talk about in regards to Phantom of Galdoria. But yeah, I'll have to figure that out in a bit. So yeah, let's get into it. I'll try and find some nice graphics for you guys. Alright, see ya. So, I'm going to talk about Phantom of Galdoria. At the moment, I've got a new editor on it, and hopefully going to be getting there with the book at about maybe July, hopefully. So that'll be good. So there's not been a whole lot of movement on there at the moment. I'm going through the edits that have been suggested. So that's a process that is happening at the moment. But yeah, so I'll have some more dedicated videos to that coming out hopefully soon. I've got some art that I still want to show everyone, and just ironing out a few details about that project, but I am back to editing for it, so that should be out sooner rather than later. So that brings us onto the elephant in the room. So with the second novel that I've done, Project Starman, I can't really talk about it too much, purely because it's part of a writing challenge where I had to basically sign an NDA and not talk about it. So that's the only problem with that project. So it's a sci-fi book, and that's pretty much as I can say at this point in time, purely because I just can't talk about it. I do get the rights back to it in around December, so regardless of whatever happens, the book will be out. That's when I can somewhat get everything back. That way I can make edits and changes that I want. That way I can still publish it, hopefully maybe late 2026 or early 2027. I would put it out on my birthday, but there's another author that's putting out her book on my birthday. So that would be career suicide for me if I did that. SJM, thank you very much for that. I do want to go back and rewrite some of it because I'm not entirely happy with what I sent in, but it's good enough for the publisher, especially considering I was on a very tight deadline with that. So yeah, that's the update on that book. I have a very long video about the writing process for that pretty soon, but that'll be out pretty much in December with my full-on thing about the book. So with what I'm doing now, I've got a few book ideas. I've got a racing book, which I've dubbed Vroom Vroom Racing Car, and another project that is a spin off one of my writing challenges that I did for my local government, which I also can't talk about until that's announced. Video on that is also being made. So kind of building off one of those short stories, but adding a bit of a different flair to it, which I do want to talk about. I'm also trying to figure out how I'm going to write it, because I don't know, I don't think I've seen a book with this type of like theme to it, which when I can talk about it in a little bit more depth, I'd definitely love to see if you guys know if any other books like that exist. But yeah, so I'm kind of like in a random spot when it comes to writing at the moment, because I'm in between books. I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, I've got a few ideas. I'm workshopping. But yeah, what I can say at the moment is that while I'm in this in-between book period and while I don't have a deadline for writing anymore, I do want to do some more writing content for YouTube and long-form content, stuff like that. I have plans for novelizing certain things, like in the background there, and other sort of videos like that. There's a lot of plans that I want to do. I also want to do it well. So I'm going to try and up my quality as what we're doing with the camera here. There will be some other clips that may be recorded on my phone because I'm going to be so real. I do not have the self-confidence to be lugging around a fucking camera recording it like this. The vlogging phase of life is very much over. Everyone does it on their phones now. But my phone is old as hell. So this is kind of where I'm going to be at. I want to do some more good quality content for you guys, that way it's a lot more fun to watch. Trying to make things more, I don't know, aesthetic, but this is the only good angle in my room at the moment. It's not clean.
Dirty, 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 dirty. Why room so messy?
Well, I wasn't expecting company.
At the moment, at all. So yeah, I'm gonna try and do at least fortnightly uploads. I want to do weekly, but I also can't promise that, as we all saw what happened when I promised it at the start of the year. That is a very old Patreon post that aged like milk. So I'm gonna do the best I can for the month of April, try and give you guys some decent content to watch. So yeah,